attention. Okay. So let's take a few moments in the chair and just check in, right? See how we're feeling. In Lorraine, you shared that you're kind of anxious. Let's see if we can use our breath and use the practice to kind of bring that down a little bit. Oh, I forgot my poem. And for tonight's practice, we'll be doing a little bit of those seated sun and moon salutations. It's been a while since we've been together. Last week we were very gentle. We'll still be gentle, right? You want to just follow your body, right? And do what feels good. Never move into pain or sharp sensation. But, using the breath and noticing if the breath starts to get away from you, that's the very first sign that you've pushed too hard. The other sign is if you start to clench the jaw, squeeze the eyes, or the shoulders come up real high. You want to keep the body relaxed to get that breath to flow. So let's take a few moments and just either close the eyes or let the chin drop to the chest and take a soft gaze down towards the floor. And I wanted to share a poem by Rudolph Valentine that I thought was really pretty. And it's about tranquility. So he starts by saying, tranquility should not be confused with passivity or apathy. It is rather a dynamic quality of balance and harmony, as love is the outward flowing of energy in selflessness, and joy is the experience of accepting the natural divinity of all life. Tranquility is the experience we have when we know and accept ourselves for who and what we are. When we come to experience directly our true identity, the personality with all its peaks and valleys no longer exerts a claim. We experience an inner calm and tranquility, a center that is secure and free of conflict. From the vantage point of this calm, unattached center, we gradually resolve our inner conflicts and unfold the subtle potentials of the deeper mind. So taking a deep breath in, filling the belly with that breath. And as you exhale, let the mouth open and gently sigh that breath out. Begin to relax the shoulders away from the ears and start to relax the face, little corners of the eyes, let the jaw go. Maybe you want to rest the hands on the thighs or the knees. And let's start to breathe deep into the belly. And if a deep breath is difficult, focus on the exhalation first. So exhaling completely and squeezing the navel towards the spine. And as you inhale, just release that contraction and notice how the body will welcome in the breath. So we don't want to breathe to a point where we're creating strain or stress on the body. Just allowing the breath to grow a little bit deeper from the belly into the ribs. And as we exhale, let the mouth open, gently sigh it out. And then moving into our 3-part breath. The breath is moving from the belly to the ribs all the way up to the collarbones. And as we inhale, gathering strength, whatever it is we need to carry us through the class. And as we exhale, let the day just roll off with the exhalation. Drop the chin a little closer down to the chest. And check in on the body, right? Notice how the body showed up. So maybe you're a little tired tonight, and if that's the case, then you can sit out any pose that doesn't feel right, or maybe you feel energized, right? Honoring wherever you are, and that can change as we move through the class. You might start off tired and feel energized at the end. Notice the thoughts, right? If the thoughts are jumping from thought to thought, instead of judging that, can we imagine those thoughts like little cars, right? And we're sitting on the sideline watching the cars go by. And we can note the color, the model, and the make. But we just don't want to jump in the car and take a ride. So it's okay when these thoughts pop into our head. It's part of being human. right? That amazing analytical mind that we have. And then noticing the physical body. Are there any areas of holding? Can you relax that with the next exhalation? And if not, can you be okay with the way the body showed up tonight? Never moving to pain or sharp sensation, remembering that yoga never hurts. And then setting an intention for the next hour. What is it that you would like to create here? Maybe a little more space, maybe a little more peace. And remembering that tranquility is not passive, right? We can create that feeling in our bodies, in our thoughts, and in our mind. Let's take the palms down to the knees, keeping the chin towards the chest, and just start to gently circle the body, really slow, right? Moving it from one side to the other. The chest presses forward as we come back and exhale. The back comes towards the back of the chair. And notice what happens when we start to move the body. And let the eyes open if the eyes were closed. And use the hands on the legs for a little bit of resistance and help to push the body back. And then at a point that feels right, let's take that circle in the other direction. Leading with the heart as we inhale forward and then pressing the back towards the back of the chair as we exhale back. And come on up through center and lift the chin, lift the gaze, and notice how that tiny little bit of movement can start to change things in the body, right? So let's do a little bit of warming up of the joints, starting with the wrists and the fingers. So wiggling the fingers a little bit, right? And then bringing the fingers together and the thumbs together, almost like a little birdie beak, but turning the hands so that the palms are facing the sky and taking the arms out to the side. Take a big breath and take those little birdie beaks in towards you and notice the stretch to the wrists, right? And we don't want to stretch to the point where the body goes, right? We want to stretch to the point where we can breathe into it. And as we exhale, let the little beaks go out to the side, and do that 2 more times, just coming in and then exhale, releasing out. A nice little stretch to the wrists. We forget about some of these smaller joints when we're practicing. And then take the hands and press them down and take the fingers down towards the floor. And then same thing, releasing towards the side wall, down towards the floor. And then inhale and release the fingers, spread them wide, and take the fingertips up towards the sky and press the hands away. Sit up nice and tall in the chair or at the edge of the chair, belly in, pressing the feet into the floor. And as we exhale, take those fingertips down towards the floor. Inhale, bring them up towards the sky, and then take your thumbs and start to turn them behind you, right, to the space behind you, rotating the shoulders, and then coming back. So now we're going to move this into a little bit of a shoulder rotation, right? Bend your elbows, release the hands alongside the body, and just take the shoulders forward. And as we exhale, roll the shoulders back and do that 2 times, right? Releasing those tight muscles. We hold so much stress in the shoulders. And then take the left shoulder, roll it up, down, and back, and then do the same with the right. So we're going to come side to side, maybe even let that arm cross across the body, because we'll be doing some seated sun salutations, right? Lifting and lowering the arms. Let's bring those arms out to the side. Take a big breath. Sweep the arms up to the shoulder height. And notice how the shoulders are feeling. If this is enough, stay here. Otherwise, bend those elbows. On the next inhalation, continue reaching the fingers up towards the sky. Beautiful. As we exhale, flip the palms and slowly let the fingers come down, dropping the chin to the chest. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, bringing those arms up, reaching up towards the sky. And as we exhale, gently releasing down, chin to chest. The next time the arms reach up, pause here, bend your elbows, and again, check in on the shoulders. Either coming into clasping the fingers above the head, maybe releasing the index finger, crossing the thumb. If that doesn't feel good for the shoulders, you can take the hands behind the head, or you can just rest the forearms on top of the head and reach the opposite hands towards the elbows. We'll be moving into that moon salutation. So sitting up nice and tall, taking any of those hand positions, or even bringing the hands down to the shoulders. Take a big breath, reaching up. And as we exhale, we're going to take the fingers over to the right and press that left hip into the chair. Maybe turn the gaze and look towards the left. As we inhale, we rise back up. And as we exhale, gently take that towards the other side. So we're not forcing anything. We're just moving those hands towards the left. Press the right hip into the chair and gently turning towards the right. Come on back through center. And as we exhale, let those arms float back down. Let the chin come down to the chest. And then sweep the arms above the head. Take a big breath in. And exhale, let those arms come down to the shoulders. At the edge of the chair with the belly in, right, protecting the lower back, take the right hand down and start to sweep the left arm up. Fingers are looking, the gaze is at the lifted left fingers. Exhale back through center. Inhale, right fingers reach, left hand comes down. It could even rest on the chair as we gaze as those lifted right fingers. And then exhale, come on back. We're going to move this into a very gentle twist. With the left hand on the left thigh, sweep the right arm out in front. Take a big breath in, and as we exhale, continue reaching across the body, looking to the left, and then inhale, opening the arm and looking to the right. And do that 2 more times, sweeping that arm. Stay nice and lifted here. When we twist, we want the spine nice and long, right? And we don't want to move too deeply into that twist. The next time the right arm comes forward, just let that hand find the right thigh and take the left arm out. Sit up nice and tall, big breath in, reach that arm all the way across to the right, and then sweep on an inhale, open up to the left. And 2 more times like that. Big breath in, right? We're still breathing. And the next time that left arm comes out in front, just let the hand come back down to the thighs. Separate the feet nice and wide. Come towards the edge of the chair. Do this little tilt forward, right? The belly is in, protecting the back. Bring the palms to the thighs. Take a big breath in. And as we exhale, let the right shoulder cross towards the left knee. Come on back through center. And as we exhale, left crosses over towards the right. And take this from side to side, inhaling through center, finding a long spine as we fold forward and the shoulder crosses. So the head stays above the heart here. Right? We're not dropping the head down. The shoulders are down and back. And then come on back through center and bring those knees back towards each other. So we're going to warm up the legs a little bit, and then we're going to put everything together into a seated sun salutation. So let's start by finding the strap and just bringing the strap to the ball of the right foot. I'm going to scooch my chair back so you guys can see a little bit better. So with the heel down and the toes up, start to take the toes down, and as we inhale, bring the toes back up towards the sky, and do this a couple of times. And just bringing the foot down and bringing it back up and noticing how the ankles are feeling, right? When we come to our standing postures, if you choose to stand tonight, you can always do it in the chair, right? You want those ankles to be nice and warmed up. So with the left foot pressing into the mat, keep the right toes up towards the sky and begin to lift and lower that right leg. Now, notice the upper body, right? The upper body stays pretty much still. We don't want to be leaning back into the chair and then rocking forward. We just want to lift and lower that right leg, and the knee is bent, right, to soften the hamstring. The next time the leg comes up, bring that foot towards you, really bending that knee. And as we exhale, press the foot away. And then do this a couple of times. And you'll notice as we move those large muscles of the leg, the body starts to warm, right? These are the largest muscles in the body. Make sure we're breathing. Next time we kick that leg out, take the strap, In the right hand, sit up nice and tall, left hand to the hip. Begin to open that leg out to the right, just to the point where you feel the stretch, and then bring the leg back. And do that a couple of times, opening and closing. Big breath in. See if it would feel good to let the left fingers reach to the left and gaze towards the left as that right leg opens to the right. And exhale, bringing everything back through center. So maybe not, right? Maybe you want to keep that left hand on the hip. And then coming back through center, lift that right leg one more time. And as we exhale, nice and slow, right? We don't want to just plop it down. Let that leg come back to the floor. Bring the strap over to the left leg and give that right leg a little love, right? Long strokes going down the side on the muscles, never on the bone. When we get to the joints, we make little circles, circling the knee, maybe behind the knee. And then gentle little taps. Coming down and coming back up. And then come back to the seat, right? Let the eyes close or just take the gaze down and sense that right side of the body and sense the left side of the body, right? Maybe you're feeling a little more space, a little more ease on that right side. Maybe not, right? But maybe yes. So let's move to the other side and see if we can even them out. Bringing the strap to the ball of the left foot, heel down, toes up. At the edge of the chair, belly in, sitting up nice and tall. As we exhale, the toes come down and we inhale the toes back up. We do this a few times, just seeing how those ankles showed up. And then taking the toes up towards the sky with a slight bend to that left knee. Inhale, lifting the foot up, and as we exhale, lowering it down. And find this little rhythm with your breath. Also notice the direction the toes are going in, right? If your toes are pointing all the way out towards the left, it means that your hamstrings and your hips are really tight. So you might want to work on releasing those muscles. Next time the toes come up towards the sky, bend that knee and bring the foot towards the body as we exhale. Kick through the heel, maybe lower down if you need a little rest, or if you are okay, just extending and coming back in. And again, sitting up nice and tall, trying to resist using momentum, right? Leaning back and then rocking forward. Then take that leg out in front, bring the strap into the left hand, right hand to the hip, and start to gently open and close. Right? This doesn't have to be a big movement, and the foot can even be on the floor when we do this, right? If the legs get a little tired. As we inhale, we open. As we exhale, we close. And let's see if it feels good to let the right arm extend, looking over the right shoulder and then coming back. Big breath. And exhale through center one more time, lifting that left leg up. And as we exhale, nice and slow, lowering down. Bringing the strap to the right thigh and giving that left leg a little love. And so we want to take those long strokes down the side of the legs. And then come to the knee and make these little circles. And then gentle taps coming up and down, right? Avoiding the bones. And then come on back in one more time with the palms resting. Just closing the eyes or dropping the gaze and sensing the left side, sensing the right side. And notice what's starting to shift in the body, right? Maybe there's a little more space. Maybe you're feeling a little more ease. So let's continue bringing that into the rest of our practice. Moving the strap off to the side just for a little bit. And we're going to move into that Sun Salutation. So it's a seated version. You know, the arms will come up and down. We'll do that little twist left and right. And when we come into our forward fold, it's just taking the hands, right, and letting them travel down the leg. And you can keep the gaze up and the heart pressing forward if that feels good. If there are any issues with dropping your head, don't drop the head. Or it might feel really good just to come all the way down and let the head drop, and then we come right back up. Okay, so follow along and don't worry about getting it wrong or right. And make sure we're breathing through this. So inhale and sweep the arms above the head. Take a big breath in. As we exhale, we let the hands come down to the thighs and take another breath as we slide the hands forward, nice long spine. This time exhaling, maybe letting the hands travel down and tucking the chin, and then inhale, rising back up. Sweep those arms all the way up towards the sky. And on the exhalation, let the hands come down and clasp underneath that right thigh. You could use a strap here too, coming to the right toes. Take a breath, lifting the knee up. And as we exhale, we lower that knee down. Bring the hands to the knees, take a big breath, and exhale, crossing right shoulder towards the left knee. Come on back through center and send the left shoulder towards the right. Come on back through center. Sweep the arms above the head. Let the hands meet in prayer. And exhale the hands to the heart. We have to do the other side. Inhale, sweep the arms above the head. As we exhale, the hands come down and find the thighs. As we inhale, we find a long spine and a little tilt forward. As we exhale, we stay here if that's what the body needs, or we let the hands travel down and we drop the chin to the chest and look down. Inhale to rise back up. Bring the arms above the head. And as we exhale, let the hands come down and find the back of the left thigh. Come up on the left toes. Inhale, lifting that knee. As we exhale, we let the foot come down. Bringing both hands to the knees. This time the left shoulder crosses towards the right knee. We inhale through center and exhale up and over to the other side. Come on back through center. Let's do that one more time each side. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands to thighs. Big breath as we do this little tilt forward. And as we exhale, maybe just dropping the elbows here or coming all the way down. Inhale to rise back up, sweeping the arms all the way up. And as we exhale, the hands find the back of the right thigh. Come to the right toes. Inhale, lifting the leg up. And as we exhale, that foot comes back down. Cross the right shoulder towards the left knee. Nice long spine. Come on up through center, left shoulder. Right knee, up through center, sweep the arms. This time hands meet in prayer. As we exhale, the hands find the heart. One more time. Inhale, arms up, big breath in. Exhale, hands to thighs. Inhale, tilting forward. Exhale, staying here or folding down. Inhale to rise, sweep the arms above the head. As we exhale, those fingers find the left thigh. Come to the toes. Inhale, lift the knee. Exhale, foot comes back down. This time it's the left shoulder that crosses towards the right. Inhale through center. Right shoulder crosses towards the left. Inhale through center. One more time. Arms above the head, hands in prayer. Exhale, hands to heart. Close the eyes. Drop the chin and breathe. And notice what happened. Right, we start to move with the breath, coordinating movement with breath. Maybe the breath got a little bit shorter and quickened, right? And definitely a little heat in the body. Maybe you could feel the energy beginning to circulate. Whatever it is, taking a big breath here. And as you exhale, opening the eyes and letting it go. So let's take the body and do a quarter turn towards the left, straddling that little corner of your chair. I'm going to separate the feet and leave them here. Right? I know in some classes you can put that leg out. I think that puts too much pressure on the knee. So we're just going to keep the feet exactly where they are, pressing into the mat. Find that nice long spine. And then sweep the arms out, shoulder height, T position. Right? And gaze over the left fingertips, finding our warrior two pose. And then letting that right hand find the chair, Turn the left palm towards the sky and just sweep those fingers up towards the sky, maybe bending the elbow, especially if the shoulders are a little cranky, and breathing into that stretch on the left side body. As we exhale, the arms float back down to that T position, and the left palm is going to find the left thigh, and the right arm is going to reach up towards the sky. Stay here for a deeper stretch. Let the left forearm rest on the thigh, and bring that right arm all the way up and over. Let's inhale to come back up, and just take the knees over to the other side, straddling that little right corner. Pressing the feet into the floor. And extending the arms out from the shoulders, reaching left and right, gazing over the right fingertips. This is our warrior two pose. And then letting the left hand find the chair, flip that right palm towards the sky. Inhale, right arm reaches up towards the sky. And the gaze can be lifted, or sometimes it feels really good just to look down at that left hand. Take another breath and release the arms back to that T position, and let the right palm find the thigh, and sweep the left fingers up towards the ceiling. Stay here, or drop that right forearm to the thigh. And as we exhale, reach the left fingers all the way up and over to the right. Let's inhale to rise back up and bring those knees back towards each other. Okay, standing, if that feels right for you tonight. If not, everything we do standing, you can do in the chair. So we'll come behind the chair. And we use the chair for balance. We're not going to do a lot of standing postures tonight, but we'll use the chair for a little bit of balance. Starting by coming, I'm going to turn my chair. You guys leave your chairs exactly how they are, just so you can see. Right, resting the fingertips on the chair and doing a little bend and straighten. Seeing how the legs are feeling. Right? If there's any kind of pain in the knees or the ankles, sit back down, right? Nothing should hurt here. And then start to lift the heels like you're trying to give yourself a little kick. Okay. And then shake it out. We're going to start by stepping that right leg back and just taking a big enough step that if you want to bend the left knee, it doesn't cross the ankle. You might want to keep both legs straight. You might want to be close to the chair here. So find where you want to be. If you want to put a little bend into that front knee, make sure you're pressing into both feet and we're not leaning forward, right? The torso stays nice and long. As we inhale, we press into that back foot, right? And sweep the right fingers up towards the sky. And exhale, let the arm float back down. Do that 2 more times, just sweeping the arm up and maybe just taking it to the point where the ceiling meets the wall, exhaling it down, or maybe this time taking it a little bit higher and holding, right, as we lengthen here, feeling the breath, and then let that right hand find the chair. Step the left foot back and press the hips back. Let the head drop, finding our version of downward facing dog. If you're sitting in the chair, you do that same forward fold that we did in our seated sun salutation. Then inhale, take a peek over the chair, looking up, and exhale, coming back down. Inhale, walking the feet back up to the chair. Take a breath, and then let that left foot come back. Same thing here, legs can be straight, or you can put a little bend into the right knee. Just make sure it doesn't cross the ankle and make sure the body isn't leaning on the chair. So adjusting your stance, getting really strong, right? Belly in and try to grow an extra inch here, right? Getting really tall, shoulders down. And then sweep the left fingers up towards the sky. And as we exhale, let them float back down. And do that 2 more times with the breath, right? Maybe starting with a very small movement and exhale, letting that movement become a little bit larger. And then inhale the fingers up, pause here, breathing in our warrior one pose. And as we exhale, let the fingers slide down. This time that right foot steps back 1 more time. Find that downward facing dog. Nice stretch here, bending one knee, straightening the opposite leg. And just walking that side to side, giving little shakes. And then inhale, coming back up. I'm going to turn my chair back to face you guys because we're going to move to the right side of the chair for a little tree pose. And so if you're seated, just taking the tree, seated, we're going to move the knee a little bit to open up the hips. So start by taking those right toes out in front and maybe going from the pinky all the way to the big toe, as long as that doesn't hurt the joints in the toes. And then come through center, press into the left foot with that right knee bent and begin to open that knee out to the side and then closing it off. Right? So almost like we did with the leg and the strap, but now this is a smaller movement because the toes are on the floor. We're just opening and closing. And then take those toes in front of you and start to make these big arcs. Now the toes stay on the floor as we do this, right? Just making this big half circle, holding the chair for balance. If you want to challenge yourself, maybe lifting the toes off the floor, right? Only if that feels okay. A little bend to the standing leg, keeping that knee soft. And then bringing that right knee towards the right. Toes stay on the floor or the heel rests on the left shin, ankle, calf, right? Anywhere along that leg. Take a breath, press into the left foot, get a little bit taller. And as we inhale, sweep the right arm out. Maybe bend the elbow. Maybe reach all the way up. And if you're feeling really playful, you can release the left arm too and play with that balance. Beautiful. Yay. Right, Arlene, you could hold this one forever. And then exhale, sorry, Susanna, as we exhale, we come on down and we shake it out. Just shake out that leg. Let's do that on the other side. We'll move side to side so we don't overuse one side of the body. So pressing the right foot into the floor, hand on the hip, right hand on the chair, bring those left toes out in front. And just start with that little squishing of the toes. And then let that, do that a couple of times, as if this was a cover of a book. Take a breath and bring the left toes in front and start with those half circles. Right, and you can trace it with the toes on the floor. Or if you want to challenge yourself, you can lift the foot up, as long as that doesn't create any issues with that right knee, right? Soft right knee. And then come back and take that left knee towards the side, toes on the ground, perfect place to be. Maybe dropping the heel on the right ankle. With taking the foot to the calf. So you can go anywhere on that leg with the exception of the knee. I like to keep it below the knee, and it's a gentler version. And then inhale that left arm out, maybe up. Put a big smile on your face, and then see if you want to bring the right arm up too. And you might notice one side is more challenging, right? I'd like to say one side is more steady than the other, right? That's completely normal. As we exhale, we come on out and we give that a little shake. We'll do one more. Coming back to the right side. And just taking the right toes in front, bring the hand to the hip, and as we exhale, bringing that foot behind. Right, and we're reaching forward, kicking back. So with this movement, you want the upper body to move with the leg. The next time that right foot comes back, you can drop the toes on the floor. We have the left hand on the chair. And as we inhale, sweep the right fingers up. One line of energy from those toes through the fingers. And if you want to take this into a balance, start to lift the right foot as the body lowers down. We're keeping the body in one long line here. And inhale to come back up. Shake it out and take that to the other side. Holding the chair for balance with that right hand. Right foot is at foundation. Left toes on front, left hand on the hip. And just start to lift and bring that left foot behind and then out in front. And you can do any kind of movement with this, right? The knee can bend, or we can swing a straight leg. And the next time those left toes come towards the back, let the big toes rest on the floor. Inhale, right arm, left arm reaches up. Finding that one line of energy. Breathing here. And only if you want to challenge yourself, start to lift the left foot, bringing the body down. We have the chair for balance and we're breathing. And as we inhale, we rise back up. We're going to shake out the legs. We're going to come back into our chair. And take your strap with you. So take a seat and just let the eyes close, especially after the standing practice. And bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart, and move back into that 3-part breath. And maybe the breath got away from you a little bit while we were standing, while we were balancing. Just notice and see if you can slow it down. Back to those deep breaths and then open the eyes. Let's scooch to the edge of the chair. I'm going to do some upper body work now. Give the lower body a rest. And take your strap and wrap it around the hands. And bring those arms out to the side so that when the arms come up, we're in a nice wide V. Right? If the strap is too short, the shoulders are going to jam and it's not going to feel good. So on the edge of the chair, take a breath. Bring the arms just to the shoulders, right? Out in front of you, shoulder height. And start to gently pull the right hand to the space behind you. Just let the left hand come along for the ride. Come on back through center, big breath in. And as you exhale, pull that left hand towards the space behind you and the right hand comes along for the ride. Let's do this a little bit from side to side. Remember to stay lifted nice and tall and don't twist too deeply here. One more time in each direction. And come back through center and bring the arms all the way up. And as we exhale, let those arms float back down. As we come in and out of this movement, press the hands to the left and right as if we're trying to split the strap apart. Just gently lifting and lowering. Big breath in. Exhale, let it go. And the next time the arms come up, and they don't have to be all the way overhead, they could be out in front, just bend that left elbow and drop the right hand down. Push the right hand towards the floor as the left hand is reaching up towards the sky. You might feel a little sensation in the tricep muscles here. Inhale to come back up and take that to the other side. Bend the right and drop the left. And push the hands in opposite directions. Let's do that one more time to each side, coming up and lowering. Inhale up and lower back down. And then find some circles, just circling around in one direction and circle the other way. Let's bring those arms all the way up towards the sky. And as we exhale, really slow, start to lower the arms down. Now we're going to take the strap. We're going to move it off to the side. We're not going to need it anymore for the rest of class. Take the arms out, and as we exhale, give yourself a hug. Right? It doesn't matter which arm is on top. Just find the shoulders or as close to the shoulders as you can with the opposite hands. Chin to chest, and gently start to rock a little bit side to side. And then inhale, come on up through center. As we exhale, drop the right ear towards the right shoulder. The left fingers are reaching down towards the sky. And if you're looking for more of a stretch, bring that right hand just to the top of the head, letting the weight of the hand gently rest on the head. We're not pulling, we're not forcing. And notice the stretch down the left side. And then with the head at this angle, gently drop the chin towards the chest and inhale, lifting back up. And do that 2 more times, really slow. Come on back through center and release the right arm. Let the head float back up. Take the shoulders, roll them up, down and back. And as we exhale this time, it's the left ear towards the left shoulder, right fingers pressing towards the floor. Staying here or using that left hand to gently rest on top of the head. And as we exhale, letting the chin drop, inhale coming up through center, like we're slowly nodding. 2 more times like that. And then come on back through center. Take a big breath, bringing the arms all the way up. As we exhale, let the hands come to the thighs. Take a big breath in. Let's find lion's breath. We haven't done that one in such a long time, right? So big breath. And when we exhale, open the mouth, stick out the tongue, and exhale completely. Let's do 2 more like that. And the last one. And then see if there's any of the movement that the body is looking for before we come into a little breath work and a seated meditation, right? So maybe you're looking for another twist. We didn't do where we cross the ankle over the opposite leg, a nice little stretch for the hip flexors, or maybe you're ready for your relaxation. I'm just going to turn out this light. So if you can dim your lights too, that might be nice. And then letting everything go. Okay, just letting the chin drop to the chest or closing the eyes. We're going to sit into the chair for support. We're no longer at the edge of the chair. We're going to let the body rest here. So feel the body resting, the seat into the seat of the chair, right? The hips resting. Maybe the back is resting into the back of the chair. Take a breath, and as you exhale, let everything go. And I want you guys to imagine there's a light riding on that breath. And we're going to take that breath through something known as a box breath. So it's all imagination. And don't worry if you don't get it. Just stay with deep breaths if it doesn't make sense to you. So imagining a light on that breath. And as we inhale, imagining the light coming up the left side of the body. And at the top of the inhalation, we hold just for a second as that light travels from the left to the right. And then we exhale down the right side of the body, from the top all the way down to the bottom. At the bottom of that exhalation, just holding out for a second, imagining that light crossing from the right to the left, creating that box. And start to find these deep breaths. Breathing up the left side, crossing to the right, exhaling down the right side, and crossing over to the left. Inhaling left. Top of the inhalation, cross from left to right, and exhale down the right side body. The bottom of the exhalation, imagine that breath crossing from the right to the left. And now following your breath pattern. Just creating that box in your mind, maybe lengthening the inhalation, and then matching your exhalation to the length of the inhales. And do this for 3 more complete cycles, creating that box. With every exhalation, every time we exhale down the right side, feeling the body become heavier and more relaxed. And when you are complete with that last exhalation. It's the breath moving from the right to the left. Just let the hands rest in any comfortable place and return to the natural breath. Notice the effect of the breath on the body. Breathing here, allowing every exhalation to bring you a little deeper. Feel the hips begin to soften. Feel the thighs, the knees, the calves, and the shins. Soften the belly. And let that softness travel from the belly to the lower back, from the lower back to the waist and the middle back. To the upper back and the chest. Relaxing shoulders and shoulder blades, arms, upper arms and elbows, wrists, hands, all 10 fingers. And relaxing the neck and the throat. And bringing that relaxation into the face. Relaxing all the face muscles, the jaw, the lips, the tongue, the cheeks, the space around the nostrils, the eyes, the eyelids, the little corners of the eyes, the space between the eyebrows, the forehead, the scalp. Let the body be completely at peace. The only movement, the breath as it moves through the body, that beautiful wave-like motion. That rhythm of your breath, like the rhythm of your heart, like the rhythm of the universe. Every inhalation bringing us new beginnings, new life, new opportunities, and every exhalation is a chance to let go of whatever it is that isn't serving us. So letting go of the worry, letting go of the fear, the unknown, and inhaling peace, strength, and tranquility. And before opening your eyes, just scanning the body and noticing the effect of the practice on the body, on the breath, on the thoughts and the mind, at the magic of our yoga practice. Maybe there's a little more peacefulness. Maybe there's a little bit more ease in the breath. Whatever it is that you've cultivated here tonight, remember to take it with you into the rest of the evening, maybe into your weekend. Right? We can always come back here simply by switching our attention to the breath. You can go back to that box breath or alternate nostril breath. And then bringing the hands to the heart, bowing the head towards the heart, noticing if the heart has any messages for you tonight. Our body speaks to us all the time. We're usually too busy to hear what it has to say. Remembering who you truly are, a divine manifestation of love in a physical form, always perfect, just the way you show up. Send that message to every cell. And then gently begin to open the eyes and lift the gaze. Have a beautiful evening, guys. Thank you for allowing me to guide you through this practice tonight. It's always an honor. Namaste. So if you guys can unmute yourselves.